Hey all! As I stated in my intro video, today we will be doing a movie haul of all of the discs that I own. So if you love movies and if you want some recommendations from me, I highly suggest that you stick around for this video and let's get right into it. I'll give you suggestions as I go, and let's just get right into it. So first we have Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Personally, I like the first Guardians of the Galaxy better, but this one was really good. I didn't like the villain as much. I thought Ego was a little, I don't know, he's just like a very stereotypical villain where it's like, I'm bad because I want to be bad. And I'm not personally the fan of those. I like villains that have really good reasons. But yeah, still good. If you haven't seen any Marvel movie, go watch them. Then we have Spider-Man Far From Home. This movie is the opposite from the Guardians series. I love Spider-Man Far From Home. I thought it was better than Homecoming, and not that Homecoming isn't good, but it's, yeah. I loved the villain in this movie, and I loved Peter's growth in it as well, and I really liked the idea of wanting to be a normal kid while still being a superhero. Then we have Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. That's pretty much all I have to say. I'm not going to get into those. Great movies. Endgame was the perfect way to end the Infinity Saga. It was so good, and we'll do a whole video on Endgame, okay? Just because it has so much content and I could talk about it for hours. Then we have Ant-Man and the Wasp. And to be honest, guys, I've only seen this movie like twice. I need to rewatch it. I need to refresh my memory. I loved Ant-Man. I thought Scott Lang he's such a good character. And I really like him. So I definitely need to watch this again. Then we have Black Panther. Black Panther, guys, is one of my favorite MCU movies. I love it so much. I think that they did such a good job making this movie, and Killmonger is one of my favorite MCU villains of all time. I think he's so good because he's right. He's just going about it in the wrong way. So if you haven't seen Black Panther, definitely 10 out of 10 recommend. It's so good, action-packed. So many amazing action scenes and filming sequences, and it's just, it's really, really, really good. It's one of Marvel's best, I think. Then we have all of the Lord of the Rings series. Honestly, I liked these a lot better when I was younger, which is kind of weird, but I haven't seen them in a minute. I do love them. They're such an interesting story, and I really enjoy the story arc, and yeah. I like The Hobbit better, I think, now as an adult, but that's just me. I connect more with the Hobbit characters, I think, than I do with the Lord of the Rings characters, but I still love this trilogy. It's beautiful. It's beautifully filmed. They're 3 hours long, so it's a long trilogy, but if you need something to do and you want to watch movies for a long time, here's some movies for you. Then we have Les Miserables. If I butchered that, I'm sorry. Super good. I really like it. I haven't seen the original movie version or stage version of it, so that's all I have on that. If you haven't seen it and you like musicals, definitely recommend it. But it is a musical, so if you don't like those, don't watch it. Then we have the Titanic movies, or movie. It's just split into 2 discs. I have no idea why. Titanic is on my favorite movie list. I love Titanic. I know that might be a little cheesy, but I really love it. I think it's such a masterpiece, and considering it was filmed in like the 90s, that is amazing. I think that is so cool. And it's a really, really, really great movie, and I think it's really good. It is. Let us keep going. So next we have I just forgot the name. Bad Times at the El Royale. This movie just came out not too long ago. It might have been maybe a year. It's really good. It's got Quentin Tarantino vibes. He's a movie director. So if you know what I'm talking about, you know what kind of movie this is. It kind of unravels itself as it goes. Chris Hemsworth is in it. That's the only name I know, if I'm honest. There is a lot of more popular people, but I just can't think of their name. Kind of like a crime, murder, mystery type of movie. It's kind of set in like the 50s, I want to say. It's really good if you're looking for like a crime murder movie. I definitely recommend this one. It's really interesting and it's really different. And it definitely has some twists and turns that I wasn't expecting. Then we have Oliver and Company, the most iconic Disney movie. It's super underrated. I used to watch it all the time as a kid. It's really cute. I would definitely recommend if you haven't seen it. It's one of those like hidden gem Disney movies. So definitely check it out because I think it's so good. It's worth a watch. I really do promise. So next we have November Criminals. It's with Ansel Elgort and Chloe Grace Moretz, I believe. It's an okay movie. I don't really remember it. I think I've watched it once. My dad got it for me, so it wasn't one that I personally put in my collection, but it's about like a drug gang and a murder and like solving who did it and that kind of movie. Zombieland. It's upside down. Zombieland, obviously, I'm sure most of you have heard about it, have seen it. It's really good. It's super funny. It's one of the few zombie movies I've actually watched. I'm not a zombie person. I'm not into like Walking Dead or anything. But I really like this movie. I need to see the second one. I'm sure it's not as good, but I definitely recommend Zombieland for anyone who hasn't seen it and enjoys zombie movies. It kind of has a different take on it, and it's really good. The Hate U Give, this movie is really sad and it's really heavy. I'm sure most of you have heard of it, but I definitely recommend it if you want to be educated on kind of the times that are going on right now. So yeah. Then we have Ready Player One. I love this movie so much. I think it's just so good. It's based on a book. They're not accurate to each other, I don't think, because they made the movie more appealing to kids of our generation, because the book was written, I think, not a while ago, but like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Full of action-packed sequences and a really cool idea of just a virtual gaming world. So if you like stuff like that, I definitely would recommend this. It's really good. Yeah, that's definitely a recommendation. Then we have The Corpse Bride, Tim Burton, classic. If you haven't seen this, just go watch it to just be able to take it in. I love Tim Burton animation. I think Tim Burton has such a unique style of animation. I love that type of like claymation and stop motion. It's so cool. If you have not seen The Corpse Bride, I definitely recommend it. It's Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter, I believe. I may be wrong. I know it's Johnny Depp for sure, but then we have How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World. This is the last one in the series. I have the first one somewhere in my collection, so we'll get to that eventually. But the third one was really good. I definitely cried. I will admit it. I cried. It was a good end to the series, and I think that the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy is a really good one. I thought it was very interesting and very unique. I've never really seen any other movies like that, so I really like them. They're a favorite. Go watch them. And then we have the Harry Potter movie trilogy. If we can flip through this. I love the Harry Potter movies. I probably won't as much. I don't know. I'm reading the books for the first time. If you haven't watched my intro video, for the first time, I'm on Prisoner of Azkaban. So far, I haven't been disappointed with the movie translation. So far, I think they're okay, but I think once the books get longer, then it probably won't be the same, I've heard, and I'm preparing. But I think they've given me a certain respect for the movies and a certain respect for the books. I've seen the movies 1,000 times, and I think they're definitely their own separate things. Like, you can talk about the movies just as Harry Potter, or you can talk about the books as just Harry Potter. And it's like two different conversations, sort of. That's kind of how I always have felt about them. But yeah, I won't be talking much about Harry Potter stuff until I read all of the books, because I want to have a firm knowledge of everything, and I don't want to say anything that might not be accurate to the book. So I'm gonna hold off on Harry Potter until I finish reading them. But I do have all the movies. I watch them all the time. They're kind of my, like, therapeutic like, if I just need something to watch, it's Harry Potter. But yeah, I think the movies as movies are filmed really well. They're acted really well. They're made really well, so I respect them as movies. But as adaptations, I'm not quite sure yet. But yeah, that was a long conversation. Let's keep going. Then we have Me Before You. I love this movie. It's a romance movie, and it's so cute. It's Sam Claflin and Emilia Clarke. Super cute. Like romance movies. I would definitely watch this. It's a good one. I really like it. Then we have Knives Out, which, oh, this movie is so good. If you have not seen this, go watch it. It is, who is in it? It's the guy who plays 007, I think. I don't know his name. And Chris Evans is in it, and I think this is one of his roles, his first role after Marvel, and he's the complete opposite of Captain America, which is good because I love to see how, like, wide-ranged he is. But oh, it is so good, guys. It's off Clue vibes, but it's really good. It keeps you on your toes, so it's like a murder mystery. I definitely recommend it. Knives Out, everyone, go watch it. It just came out not too long ago, and it's really good. Then we have The Upside, which is Kevin Hart and Bryan Cranston, I think. It's really good. It's kind of like a comedy slash sad. Bryan Cranston's character is disabled. Kevin Hart gets hired as, like, his caretaker slash buddy. It's like a comedy, but, like, not. So yeah, it's a good movie. Then we have The Princess Bride. I'm sure you all know what that is. I just watched it for the first time, like, a month or so ago, and I absolutely loved it. I can't believe I've never watched it before. I definitely want to watch it again soon. Love it. It's just a good classical movie. 10 out of 10, recommend. Let's keep going. Then we have The Man in the Iron Mask. This is a really old movie. Jeremy Irons is in it, and Leonardo DiCaprio is in it. It was in Leonardo DiCaprio's, like, height of movies, so he was still young, and he was just movie after movie after movie. It's really good. It's about the Three Musketeers and the King of France, the old sword fighting, no blood type of movie. It's really good. I recommend. I think it's really good. Then we have Birds of Prey. I just got this. Oh my god, guys. I love Birds of Prey so much. I love Harley Quinn so much. She's one of my favorite characters of all time, and I love Margot Robbie's adaptation of her. The way she plays her is just so good, and Birds of Prey is just all Harley Quinn and all women, and it's so amazing. And if you haven't seen Birds of Prey, go watch it, because it's way better than Suicide Squad. Just laying that out there. Way better. Okay, sidetrack. Suicide Squad, I loved the characters, I loved the actors, I loved that stuff. I didn't like the plot. I thought it was weird, and it escalated too quickly, and there were so many cut scenes, and you could tell, and it was just choppy, and it just could have been made better. But the actors did a fantastic job. Anyway, so much better. The plot is so good. Ewan McGregor plays the villain, Black Mask, and he does such a good job. I've never seen him in a villain role before. Maybe that's just me, but he did a really good job. Anyway, I love Birds of Prey. Go watch it. Then we have the 2019 version of Little Women. I love Little Women. Okay, I haven't seen the original, and I really want to, but I love the new version. Saoirse Ronan is one of my favorite actresses, alongside Emma Watson, actually. Emma Watson and Saoirse Ronan are two of my favorite female actors. And this movie is just gold, guys. I definitely recommend, if you're, like, a feminist and all for women, or just, like, a good storytelling movie, 10 out of 10, go watch. It's really, really good. Filmed really well. Filmed by a woman director, female director, Greta Gerwig. So amazing. Then we have Hacksaw Ridge. I believe this movie was directed by Mel Gibson. So if you know anything about Mel Gibson's movies, they're super, super gory. So this is like a war movie. But it's about a guy who's like a medical soldier, like a medic. And he doesn't carry a weapon. He doesn't use weapons because of his like morals. And it's really, really, really good. It's Andrew Garfield. He does a fantastic job. And it's directed by Mel Gibson, I believe. So it's super gory. So if you don't like gore, probably don't watch this. But like if you like war movies, it's really good. It's really good. Then we have Maleficent, the Angelina Jolie one. I love the first one. Second one was good, but it wasn't as good. I love this take on Maleficent. She's obviously the most iconic villain ever. And this take on her tale was really interesting. And Angelina Jolie did a fabulous job. Then we have Bridesmaids. It's a comedy. It's pretty good. So like if you like comedies, sure, check it out. Then we have Split with, I'm so disappointed in myself. I love this actor. What is his name? With James McAvoy. Split with James McAvoy, everybody. Okay, this movie is super interesting and super good. So that's the end of this. I know, I have a lot of movies. There's still like a whole, drawer full. We have Sinbad. Now, this movie is made by DreamWorks. Okay, one thing about DreamWorks, guys, they have super, like, underrated kids movies that are so good and nobody knows about them, but they're, like, ingenious. Anyway, Sinbad, really good. Brad Pitt is in it. This movie was, like, my childhood. It's kind of about, like, pirates. It's, like, really good. It's just super, like, unique and different, and I definitely recommend... if you still like watching animated movies as an adult like I do, check this out if you haven't seen it. So many. Then we have Shark Tale. I've definitely heard mixed reviews from people I know. Some people I know are like, this movie is so dumb, but I really like it. Will Smith is in it, Robert De Niro, Angelina Jolie, Jack Black, like iconic people, and it's just cute. I think it's also made by DreamWorks, so that's the studio that made Shrek, in case you didn't know. Then we have Scooby-Doo Pirates Ahoy. This is one of my favorite Scooby-Doo movies. I don't know, I've always liked this one. I just think it's good. So yeah. Then we have Romeo and Juliet, the Leonardo DiCaprio version. I really honestly just watch it because Leonardo DiCaprio just makes me cry. So if I need a good tearjerker, I just watch this. It's set in like 1990, but it's still like is spoken in Old English, so it's really interesting. But yeah, I mean, if you like Shakespeare, this movie is iconic. Robots, I love this movie. Ewan McGregor's in it, and it's just like really good. Okay, like it's like an underrated movie. I don't know who made this. Blue Sky. So the people that made Ice Age. But this movie's really good. I don't own all animated movies. Then we have The Revenant, Leonardo DiCaprio's Oscar-winning performance. I've only seen this one time because it's super heavy, super gory, and just kind of a lot. And it's really long. Tom Hardy is also in it. It's really good. It's like a survival movie. So if you like that sort of stuff, I would definitely go check this out. I need to rewatch it. Guys, this video is going to be so long. I apologize. I have so many movies. I won't talk about all of them. Princess and the Frog. Scooby-Doo Camp Scare. This movie scared me when I was little, but I don't know why it's here. I haven't watched it in a long time. Home on the Range, super great Disney movie. I forget it's a Disney movie, but it's really good. And Nanny Mcphee. This movie's so cute. It's Emma Thompson, Colin Firth, and Thomas Brody Sangster as a little boy. It's super cute. It definitely is my childhood, and I really like it. And then we have the iconic Hocus Pocus. The best Halloween movie in the world. I don't know what else to say. If you haven't seen this, please go watch it. It's so good. There's gonna be movies all over my floor. The Impossible with Tom Holland, Ewan McGregor, and Naomi Watts. And yes, I said Tom Holland. He's like 13. It's so good. Just go watch it. It's about the true story of a tsunami. The tsunami that broke out in Thailand? I'm sure it says Thailand. Yes. It's a true story. So sad. I cry every time I watch it. If you like sad movies and if you want to see Tom Holland be a bomb actor, go watch it. Ocean's 8. This movie is legendary. So many good women characters. I love it. Watch that if you haven't seen it. It's like a bank robbery movie, but they rob like a necklace. It's really good. Really iconic characters and actresses. Oh, then we have the Narnia movies. I love the Narnia movies. I have always loved the Narnia movies. I watch them all the time. So if you haven't seen these, what are you doing? Go watch them. They're so good. Enchanted. It's iconic. Little Mermaid. It's iconic. Go watch them. Dirty Dancing. Classic. Iconic. Old-time movie. It's really good. Crazy Rich Asians. This movie is actually really good, guys. I watched it for the first time not too long ago, and I was really shocked, and I didn't expect a lot of the things that happened, but it's really good, and I think that more people should watch it because I feel like it was, like, overlooked. I feel like when this came out, so many iconic movies were coming out at one time, and I feel like not many people have seen this, but I really like it. So go watch. Call Me by Your Name. This is one of my favorite movies of all time. Right next to, where is it? In the Heart of the Sea. These are my top 2 favorite movies of all time. Okay, so like, this movie is not for everyone. It's about 2 men as lovers, but it's not like bad. Like, it's not like weird. It's just like, it's a beautiful piece of art. It's filmed beautifully. It's like an independent director. So good. Timothée Chalamet is in it, and Armie Hammer, and it's just really beautiful. It's a beautiful piece of art. It's a beautiful love story. It's my favorite movie. In the Heart of the Sea, this movie, Chris Evans, Cillian Murphy, and Tom Holland. Super, 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 really awesome, amazingly beautiful, good. In the Heart of the Sea. It's about the true story of Moby Dick, so it's about the story that Moby Dick was based on. It's really good. It's kind of heavy. It's a lot, but it's really, really good. If you know anything about being lost at sea during their time, there was a rule set in place. Khan Skull Island. This is really good. It has a lot of beautiful shots. Half the Marvel characters are in it. Brie Larson's in it, Tom Holland's in it, and Samuel L. Jackson is in it. It's like 3 of them, but so long. Perks of Being a Wallflower. Iconic. Emma Watson. Logan Lerman. Ezra Miller. That's pretty self-explanatory. Over the Hedge. DreamWorks. Another hidden gem. So good. The Great Gatsby with Leonardo DiCaprio. I have a lot of his movies because I think he's a great actor. This is super good. Really good. I have not seen the original version. I've only seen this version. I have read the books. The book. Greta. This movie is really good. It's Chloe Grace Moretz, and it's kind of like a thriller kidnap movie, and it's so good. So if you like thrillers, I would definitely go and watch this because it's really good. We're almost done. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. This is like a Ferris Bueller, Pretty in Pink, Breakfast Club type of movie. It was made during like around that time of all of these movies. So if you know what I'm talking about, this is the vibe that it gives off. It's really good. Ophelia. This movie is golden, okay? So good. That's Daisy Ridley. It is the story of Hamlet, but told through Ophelia's eyes, and it is so good. And they don't speak like Old English, so like it's easier to comprehend and understand, but I would recommend that you have some knowledge of Hamlet, just because it doesn't explain everything that is happening all the time, but like having a knowledge of Hamlet is like helpful, but like you don't need it, I guess, if that makes sense. Die Hard. This is one of my favorite action movies of all time. It's so good. It's just great. Go watch this if you haven't seen it. It's like a really good action movie. The Favorite. This movie is so good. It's about Queen Anne and like these two other women who are trying to like gain her favor, and it's like a little like political battle. It's not very like actiony, but like it's like a slow moving like stab in the back type of movie, if that makes sense. The Goonies, iconic. I love it. Go watch it if you haven't seen it. I recommend this movie like a lot. It's like a treasure hunting, like kids hunting treasure movie. It's so good. It's so good. It's like an old movie, but like it's really good. Ice Age: Dawn of the Dinosaurs, the best Ice Age movie out there. Fight me if I'm wrong. And The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Disney, iconic. We're so close. How to Train Your Dragon, the original. We already had to talk about this. Beetlejuice, the second best Halloween movie. I don't know if Beetlejuice is a Halloween movie, but it kind of is. I definitely watched around Halloween and all the time, but super good. Really good. Old movie, iconic. Brave, my favorite Pixar movie, as I established in my intro video. That's all I'm gonna say. American Assassin. This movie is actually really good. It's Dylan O'Brien and Michael Keaton. It's like a spy, a heavy, action-packed, gory spy movie. It is rated R, so it is that type of spy movie. And it's really good. I definitely recommend it. If you just need some movie to watch, an action movie, here you go. Jurassic Park, the iconic. We don't need to get into it. Super good. Alice in Wonderland, the live version. I really like this version. I've never seen the original animated version because I am horrible. I know. It's on my list. I really liked this dark take on Alice in Wonderland. Not that it was dark, but it was like Tim Burton, so like, yeah. I really like twists in Disney movies. I love when they do that, and I think that this is really good. I didn't like the second one, though. It wasn't that good. They could have just kept it as one. Wanted, Angelina Jolie and James McAvoy. This was one of James McAvoy's like first movies, I think. It's an action spy movie. It's kind of old, but it's good. 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. This movie won, well, this movie was in the Oscars a few years ago. And Frances McDormand won Best Actress in this movie. This movie is really heavy. Like, murder, other stuff. It's an Oscar movie, so it's like that type of movie, if you know what I'm talking about. It doesn't really have like a happy ending. It just kind of ends. But it's really good. I recommend it. It's filmed really well, it's acted really well, and it tells a very interesting story. Just don't watch it if you're sad. Tangled, Disney, one of my favorite Disney movies. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. This movie is iconic. If you have not seen it, this movie took 4 years to make, guys. 4 years. And it is so good. We've never had a Spider-Verse movie, I don't think, ever. So this is like the first. And it's like animated in like the comic book dots. So like, you know how classic comic books were like dots and stuff? Do you know what I'm talking about? This is animated like that. It's so good. I need to rewatch this. I'm gonna watch this like right now. It's just really good, guys. And that's it. We're done. I went through all of my movies that I own on disc. I hope you guys like the movies I have. And if you have any movies that like you want me to watch, or you want me to talk about, or you want me to suggest to people, comment down below and I will definitely like take your recommendations. If you've seen any of these movies and you liked them, didn't like them, let me know down below. I want to like know your guys' opinions on stuff like that. And if you end up watching any of the movies that I suggested, let me know. Just like let me know. Let me know what you think. I'll definitely read all of your comments because I'm super willing to do that, and I like to hear people's opinions on movies because I love them. Next week I'm hoping to my top 10 favorite characters of all time. So I'm going to be counting up my top 10 favorite characters ever. It's going to be tricky. I'm working on a list right now, and I'm really excited to talk about that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe down below, And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next week with my next video.